WENY News is breaking into programming to bring you breaking news out of Steuben County Court. A jury has found Thomas Clayton guilty of first and second degree murder for his role in the death of his wife Kelly in September of 2015. WENY's Logan Wilson joins us live from the courthouse in Bath with information on that verdict and what happened as the jurors announced their decision.
Leanne, the verdict just came down minutes ago. Thomas Clayton guilty on both first degree and second degree murder charges. This is after about 6 hours of jury deliberation. The jury began deliberating yesterday around 10:40. They resumed this morning at 9:30, and just shortly before 10 o'clock, they had a verdict. Now, many family and friends in the courtroom from both sides of this case were emotional when that verdict came down. Many of them just left the courtroom in tears. Now we're waiting to hear from both attorneys on more information as to whether or not Thomas Clayton was taken into custody, as well as when sentencing will be. That's all the information we know right now, but stick with WENY News for the latest on this. You can also follow me on Twitter for the latest updates. Back to you, Leanne.
Thanks, Logan. Now, for those of you unfamiliar with the Clayton case, here's a look back at the timeline of events.
In the overnight hours of September 28, 2015, Thomas Clayton arrived home in Clayton after playing poker with friends in Corning. When he walked into the house, he discovered his wife Kelly beaten to death with their children there as well. Clayton was arrested later in the day on September 29th, accused of his wife's death. 4 days later, on October 2nd, authorities made a second arrest in the case. Michael Beard was originally charged with second-degree murder. Authorities at the time said Beard was an acquaintance of Clayton's. Before recusing himself from the case, Steuben County District Attorney Brooks Baker told WENY News the case appeared to be a murder for hire. Chemung County DA Whedon Wetmore becomes a special prosecutor on the case. Thomas Clayton is bailed out of jail, while Michael Beard remains incarcerated. In November, a grand jury indicts Beard on 1 count of first-degree murder and 2 counts of second-degree murder, accused of causing the death of Kelly Clayton. In December, a grand jury indicts Thomas Clayton on identical charges. The charges allege Clayton hired Beard to kill Kelly. Both men plead not guilty. As the investigation continues throughout 2016, authorities announce another arrest in connection to the case. In August, Mark Blanford of Elmira is charged with second-degree murder, burglary, and conspiracy. He's accused of traveling with Michael Beard to the Clayton home in Clayton the night Kelly was murdered. His case is still pending. In October 2016, Michael Beard's trial begins in Steuben County Court. After a 10-day trial, the jury finds Beard guilty on all charges. His sentencing is pending. On January 9th, Clayton's trial began.
And now, after 6 weeks, more than 75 witnesses and 500 pieces of evidence, the jury began deliberating yesterday around 10:30 in the morning. After roughly 7 hours, they reached their verdict of guilty. We'll go back to regularly scheduled programming now. Tune into WENY News at noon for more on this case.